Is Dreamworld Australia trying to turn itself into Legoland Australia? I'm Dan from themeparknut.com, and today we are going to talk through a conspiracy theory. This is the video that broke my last camera. So, the universe didn't want you to see this video, but that's not going to stop me. It's time to get out your tinfoil hats, everyone, and talk through 6 reasons why it might appear that Dreamworld is trying to turn itself into Legoland Australia. Reason number 1, Dreamworld is struggling financially. It's been pretty well documented that Dreamworld on the Gold Coast in Australia has been struggling for the last couple of years since there was a fairly major fatal incident at the park on one of their family rides. Ever since that time, there's been a downward spiral of attendance. Ardent, the owners of Dreamworld, said in their financial year report for 2018 that they were looking at splitting their Australian and US businesses by unstapling their stapled commodity. Splitting its US bowling business out from its Australian theme park business makes sense in general, but it would also be what you would do if you were looking at, say, selling the theme park business. Reason number 2, Dreamworld has been making a lot of cosmetic changes. So since the 2016 fatal incident, there have been changes going on at Dreamworld, but they haven't been the sort of large-scale attraction investments of previous years. Now, we do have a new attraction coming, which is the Flying Theatre attraction built in the old IMAX theatre, but the IMAX theatre was kind of a waste of space where it was, so it was inevitable that that would get used eventually. And building something like that is something that's easily reskinnable if, say, another operator was buying your park and wanted to brand it to their own IP. They have still been spending money, particularly on retail shops and making things look much more presentable. And to be fair, they've had to spend a great deal of money on removing the River Rapids ride, which was a completely unexpected expense. But just to put it in perspective, Movie World, who is Dreamworld's big competitor on the Gold Coast, in the time that this has all occurred, has built the Southern Hemisphere's first hypercoaster. Reason number 3, Dreamworld has already got a Lego store. They didn't do nothing at all while Movie World built a hypercoaster. In fact, one of the biggest things they spent money on was putting in a brand new Lego store right at the entrance of the park. Now, that could completely be a coincidence. It's certainly been good for Dreamworld's brand, which has been going through a bit of a troubled time since the River Rapids incident, to be associated with Lego, one of the most pure and popular brands worldwide. But wouldn't that be a plus for Merlin if they were looking at buying this park? Because they wouldn't have to construct a Lego shop right at the entrance. There's one already there. Reason number 4, Dreamworld has stated that it wants to be a Lego destination. These past school holidays, Dreamworld has hosted an exhibition called the Brickman Awesome Exhibition, which featured 39 large Lego models from Australia's only Lego Master Builder. In its financial year report for 2018, Dreamworld specifically said that this exhibition was designed to reinforce the park as a Lego destination. Reason number 5, we know that Merlin can do this. This model of buying an existing park and converting it into a Legoland park has been done before. This is exactly how we got Legoland Florida. Cypress Gardens was a park that existed in Winter Haven, Florida up until 2009 when it was closed because it basically was unable to turn a profit. In January 2010, the land was purchased underneath it by Merlin, the owners of the Legoland brand. And in October 2011, it reopened as Legoland Florida. While it might not be their favourite way of building a new park, it's certainly a model that they're used to and could work with. And just quietly, the way that they handled the Cypress Gardens to Legoland Florida transition including maintaining some of the aspects of the Cypress Gardens park, is exactly what you would want if you were selling an iconic park like Dreamworld. You want someone to maintain the Dreamworldness of it, but also make it fresh, make it Legoland. And reason number 6, Merlin has been rapidly expanding its Australian presence. Merlin has 11 visitor attractions and 2 ski resorts across Australia and New Zealand. They've already rebranded a number of Australian tourist attractions in various places, including at Mooloolaba on the Sunshine Coast, Underwater World becoming a sea life centre, and Centrepoint Tower in Sydney becoming one of their branded attractions. And they've also just built a Legoland Discovery Centre in Chadstone in Melbourne. Merlin know that Australia is a good market for Lego. I am convinced there will be a Legoland Australia someday. Now, there are really only 3 logical places that you would put a park of this scale in Australia: Sydney, Melbourne and the Gold Coast. No other parts of Australia get sufficient overseas tourist flows that would warrant sort of having an international theme park. Ultimately, based on weather, I think you would probably end up choosing between the Gold Coast and Sydney. Melbourne's already got a Discovery Centre and the weather's not great for operating year-round parks. And if I was going to pick out of those 2, Sydney's very expensive, hard to build, you couldn't be close to the centre. While the Gold Coast, the only real problem is that there are already a couple of theme parks in that market. What if there was a way to buy out one of those existing theme parks and convert it? So there you go, that's my conspiracy theory. I think Dreamworld is trying to shape itself so that it can be on-sold to Merlin and be rebranded as Legoland Australia. Do you think I'm crazy? Let me know in the comments down below. If you think there are other places in the world that Legoland should be looking at first, I'd love to know that too. Thanks for watching my conspiracy theory on Dreamworld becoming Legoland Australia. On Friday we will be uploading our regular Theme Park News in a Minute videos. And in the meantime, you can check us out on Twitter at ThemeParkNut, and our blog is themeparknut.com. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, cheers!